Hello everyone! Let's celebrate spring with Christian Dior. I am in love with this packaging. Absolutely stunning. For the spring collection, they released the Blooming Bouquet eyeshadow. Absolutely beautiful. And along with that, they released the Wild Brown eyeshadow. I also picked up a few other things from Dior and pulled some from the collection so that we can create a full face of Dior. Let's go ahead and get started. Today's video will focus in on the Blooming Bouquet eyeshadow, but make sure you're subscribed because next video I will be sharing with you the Wild Brown eyeshadow, just to keep them separate so they can both get their time to shine and I can dedicate and focus in. So the packaging is quite thin and it is quite nice. It's not bulky in any way. To open the palette, you simply press and lift, and that is as far back as it goes. Now this is said to be a new and limited edition long-wearing creamy powder palette with cool tone shades of violet, light browns, and a frosty white. Let's start off with this first shade, and has a satin finish. I have to say the texture feels very smooth and buttery, and it really just glided. Very nice. This next shade is like a frosty white. Very smooth glide on that one as well. Now we're going to go into the center shade. This is giving me a very cool tone lilac. This is a very light taupe brown. And then this is the darkest shade. This is definitely giving me eggplant. And I'm definitely going to need that for my skin tone with these shades. Got a lot of frosty light shades going on up here, so let's see how this applies on me. So I picked up the Backstage Radiance Primer Mist and the Airflash Foundation. I picked up a couple of shades because I was having a hard time. So I said, let me pick a few shades. Worst case, I can mix, but let's see how that plays out. So I'm going to start off with this Radiance Primer. This is supposed to give radiance to the skin. I have it in shade 2, which is meant for medium to dark shades. So I gave it a good shake. I am just going to spray this. What am I spraying this on? Now, instructions said that you can spray this on your face in a Z-word motion. I'm going to spray it on a brush. I'm going to play it safe. This is my Marc Jacobs The Face 1 brush. It's given my brush a little bit of color. I'm avoiding my forehead area because of my skin type. I am of combination skin type, and that area gets a little bit oily on me. So I don't usually put Radiance products up there. Okay. Feels very lightweight, very nice. Do a little bit more. I might want to suggest you be in a ventilated area when spraying this stuff. That's how the Radiance Primer is looking. I like how it feels on the skin. I feel quite refreshed. Moving on to the Airflash Foundation. This is the shade 400. Give that a good shake. Spray that on my brush. Trying this foundation based solely upon the fact that I thought it was going to be messy. But it's not so bad when you spray it on a brush, and I think it blends into the skin quite nicely. Okay, so that's one quick little layer of the Airflash Foundation. I'm gonna go in with my Dior Forever Skin Concealer. All the products that we talk about today, you guys know, will be listed and linked for you down below in the description box. This is a really good full coverage concealer that feels very lightweight. Going to be using this concealer as our primer for today. So for my eyebrows, I'm using the Backstage Brow Palette. I don't think this is available anymore. I'm glad that I bought a backup when I did. Let's dabble on into the Blooming Bouquet Eyeshadow Palette. I'm taking a fluffy brush. This is a Chikara JSN 10, and I'm going to start off by going into the darkest shade. I'm going to start focusing that on the outer portion of my eye and blending it. Very little pressure as I blend it directly into the crease. I'm going to create two different looks. This first look will be our soft, everyday look, the look that you'll want to create when you reach for this palette most days. Going back in just a little bit more into the darkest shade, building up on the outer portion and continuing to blend directly into the crease with very little pressure on the brush. I've picked up a clean brush. This is the Sonia G Blender Pro. No product, and I'm just going to blend the edges to keep things very soft and diffused. I'm now going into this shade, and I'm going to apply that directly on the lid. Now I am using a more fluffy brush on purpose because I want a light wash of color applied. This is the Sonia G Classic Crease. But as you can see, you can use it on the lid. I'm now going to be going into this shade, and I'm using my Worker Pro from Sonia G. I'm going to just apply it to brighten this eye. This darkest shade on a Smudger 2 brush and just connecting the outer portion of the eye. This is a by Terry pencil in the shade Brown Secret. I'm going to apply that to my waterline. I'm going to finish it up with a couple of coats of the Chantecaille mascara. And here is our first look. I wanted to create something from this palette that when you reached for it, you would feel comfortable creating and wearing every day. For the next look, I will for sure step it up and let's make it a little bit more dramatic. I'm going to start off by applying my brow bone highlight. I'm going to just go into this lightest white frosty shade. Just a little bit. I forgot to put some over here, so we'll do that now. Clean off the brush. And I am now going into that darkest shade, and I'm going to apply that all over my lid. Lacing and building. I think it's building quite nicely. And my edges are smoothing and blending nicely as well. I'm now going to take a different brush, the fluffy brush that we used prior, going into that same darkest shade. And let's just blend into the crease. Going into my Smudger 2. connecting the lower lash line. I'm now going to go into the center shade and use that as the inner highlight. I have some thoughts. Let me go ahead and finish up my face, share this new lipstick with you, and then we'll chat. Again, all of the products that we used today will be listed and linked down below in the description box for you. Here is my new lipstick. Give you a quick, it's so perfect and pretty. I gave you something a little more soft and everyday, and then of course something more dramatic, yes. After using the new eyeshadows from Dior, I have to say this is quite an improvement from moons ago when I had tried these Dior eyeshadows. They're very silky, very creamy, they blend very nicely, the pigmentation is there. I think the performance is very, very nice. What I will say for my skin tone and this color story, as you can see, once you swatch, things start looking quite similar. It'll be a toned here, a more frosty finish there. But for the most part, what I noticed with this particular color story is that once it was applied to the lids, they kind of sort of started looking the same. Not to say that I couldn't create different looks, because we definitely can, but just something to keep in mind if you are around my skin tone. Actual shadow performance is quite fantastic. They've definitely improved quite a bit. Something to note, as I've only been wearing the lipstick for under 15 minutes, let's say, I've been mostly speaking. And now I know that it says that this is a floral lip care lipstick. You're definitely going to get a little bit of that into your mouth. I'm tasting what I'm smelling, but it's very creamy, the actual lipstick. It's got peony and pomegranate flower extract enriched lip care. Just something to keep in mind if you are a little more sensitive to fragrance. You're definitely going to get a little hint and a little whiff here and there when it comes to Dior makeup. Now, these aren't new products, but they're new to me. The Radiance primer was very nice on the skin. I like the finish that it gave, along with the Airflash foundation. I really like it. I think it's very, very lightweight, very comfortable, and it looks quite nice on the skin as well. And with all of that said, thank you all so much for hanging out with me today and allowing me to share all of these Dior products with you. Please don't forget to give today's video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't. Stay beautiful, guys. I will see you very, 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 very soon. While browned. Next video. Stay beautiful, guys. Bye.